You. Welcome, John Walton from the Catholic Charities. We are so excited to have you on to talk to us about disaster preparedness. I will put the floor on to you.
All right, thank you. So as I was just mentioned, I am John Walton. I'm the Director for Disaster Recovery and Humanitarian Services for Catholic Charities San Francisco. We cover San Francisco, San Mateo, and Marin counties. As you can see on your screen right now, there's a question up there. What concerns do you have about preparing for natural disasters? I know that's a very broad question, but this is a very broad idea, very difficult thing to grasp because there's so many types of disasters out there. So what I'm going to do with this presentation is boil them down to 5 key points that we can easily work through, and then give you some ideas on how to prepare for a disaster. So if you need to stay where you're at, if you need to move because your home or where you're at is not it's not safe to stay in. So what we will do as we continue to go is look through how to sign up for alerts. What is a go bag? What do I do when I get to an emergency shelter? How do I create an emergency plan? Stay boxes and support networks. After we go through all of these, I hope to have a little bit of time to answer any questions you might have. If not, I believe that Tina has my email, and I can be emailed with those questions, and I respond pretty quickly. So Listos is it's part of a Cal OES initiative, and Listos means prepared or ready. So these are the 5 things that we're going to be studying: get alerts, make a plan, make a go bag, build a stay box, help friends and neighbors if you're able. Wireless emergency alerts. So this is your basic radios, anything that can be used for the emergency personnel to reach out to you and give you information. So news on your cell phone, news on a radio, news from television, all of those are considered part of the wireless emergency alert system. For San Mateo County, you can sign up for alerts. It's very easy. They'll send it to your phone if you have a smartphone. Actually, I think it'll go to any phone. I don't think it has to actually just be a smartphone. And this is what it would look like. So you would go to www.smart911.com. It'll ask you if you want to sign up for alerts, and then it'll take you to this page. I counted on this preferred language. There's about 115 different languages that they can help you, or they can translate the emergency alert into, which is a huge upgrade from what they had before. You would go through, type in your first name, your last name, your email address if you have one. You can create a user ID, or you can use your email address, either or. Then you would create a password. If you're comfortable with getting alerts this way, you'll put in your phone number and your phone type. So is it a mobile or a landline? So a cellular phone or a landline. I don't know how many people still have landlines, but that is an option that they give you. And then you would agree to their terms. Don't believe that there's a group code. Sorry, my computer's acting crazy. And then that will get you alerts for all of San Mateo County. And that's everything from earthquakes, floods, fire, and even some, like if the police have a shelter in place, that will come through the alert system. If there is major freeways or roadways that are shut down, that will come through the system as well. It will also tell you, like, if you need to evacuate, where you should go. So we'll get further into emergency shelters, but it will give you an idea of if Red Cross has set up a shelter in your area, or if the county themselves, the National Guard, whomever, it will tell you where to go, who's there, what you should bring with you. As we go further through this presentation, we will get more details on what you should bring with you in your go bag. My shake. So this is a app that the University of Berkeley, Cal OES, and a few other, I think the National Geologic Society, uh, put together. And basically what this does is it gives you a heads up that there's an earthquake imminent. So all of their seismometers, everything start to tick, and they send out a warning. Now, a couple of weeks ago, or actually it's about a year now, this accidentally went off at 3 in the morning and scared everybody because it was saying that there was a big earthquake coming. I I've had this app on my phone for about 2 years, and it has never. That's been the only other time that it has given me a false alarm. Otherwise, any earthquake that is 5.0 or greater, it will alert, and it will give you uh, it'll give you an alert like this on your phone if it's in your area. You can also go through and see recent earthquakes in other parts of the world. It's a great app. It's interesting. I have a lot of fun with it. PG&E. So many of us have um, machines that we require on a daily basis. Some of us it's computers. Others have medical equipment, medical devices that require um, more that they require to live to. So oxygen machines, things of that nature. PG&E, we all know that PG&E will shut off the power if there's a red flag warning, high winds in the area, so that they can power down the line so that they don't start a fire. As we've all seen, PG&E has been implicated in a lot of the wildfires that have happened. So this is how they mitigate those wildfires, is by shutting down the power. This doesn't help people that need electricity for medical devices. So you can call and reach out to PG&E, the number there on that screen. If you text status, they will tell you what the status is of the electrical grid in your area. Also, PG&E has additional resources that will help those that have um, medical devices to have a backup power system, a battery backup for their power system placed in their home. So if you'd like more information on that, reach out to me. I will get you in touch with PG&E in regards to that resource. NOAA weather radios. The radio that's shown here, it's a crank radio, so it doesn't actually require batteries. It has a solar panel on top. You can set it in the window and it'll charge. Or if you need battery power right now, it actually has a handle on the back that allows you to crank. Um, we don't often get a lot in the way of severe weather around the Bay. I grew up in Texas, where every summer tornadoes were everywhere. Bad thunderstorms. I lived in Missouri for a little while. Again, the same way. Arizona, we had floods every monsoon season. So it was imperative that we have one of these radios. But in the Bay Area, if it's not 65 and sunny, something's really wrong. So with these weather radios, it helps because they also push out other emergency broadcasts. They also have the ability um, to uh, receive radio from FM, AM receivers. So you can you can use it to listen to music. You can use it to listen for emergency broadcasts. It's a very, very handy tool to have. I believe this radio actually also has a flashlight on the front And if you're interested, if you need one of these radios, please reach out to me. I have several of them that I can give you at no cost. Moving into go bags. A go bag is just something that you can carry. It's a backpack that you can carry with you. So this particular screen is talking about putting in vital documents. What is a vital document? Well, we all need birth certificates, driver's license. If you own a vehicle, you're probably going to want to have a registration of that vehicle, or the pink slip for that vehicle. If you have a house, you want to have your deed to your house in this bag. Insurance for your house, your vehicles, you're going to want in this bag as well. And that's any medical documents that you have need to go in this bag also. It is very important because the other half of my team is a disaster recovery team, and they help with case management. So when FEMA comes by and starts asking questions about, do you own this property? Is this your vehicle? You'll have all these documents in hand so that you can say, yes, this is mine, and show them. That way you can start the process of recovery. The case managers that would help you later would also require those documents as well. I know I'm going really quickly, but I do want to give people time to ask questions. So documents you don't want to have to replace, documents that may be difficult to replace or impossible to replace. Obviously, documents that contain important information and proof of ownership or occupancy. So if you have a rental agreement as well, you would want to carry that with you. Clothes and toiletries for an overnight stay. So this bag is going to be your life support system while you're at the emergency shelter that you're at, or until you get to that emergency shelter. So you're going to need clothes, shoes, extra shoes, toiletries, what have you. Toothpaste. I can't stress enough carrying with you a hand sanitizer, because disasters are dirty places. You're going to want to eat at some point, and if your hands are dirty, you could ingest something that you didn't want to, and you could become very sick. So the ability to wash your hands, the ability to stay clean, the ability to just not ingest things that you don't want to, or to be able to clean a cut if you need to clean a cut, all need to be in this bag. Coming from a military background, I will tell you that the most important thing that you can carry with you is socks. Change your socks, because if you're having to walk, if you have the ability to walk and you're walking, changing your socks, keeping your feet clean, keeping them dry is going to help you tremendously. Cool information. So, if you have any type of injury, chronic disease, medication that you have to take, if you're immunocompromised, you want to be able to tell the first responders when they see you, when they find you, when you get to the first aid station that you get to. It is imperative that the first responders know that you require medication, or you have a medical need that needs to be covered quickly. Diabetes, any immunocompromisation that you might have, asthma, all of these things. The first responders may have the medication there for you. If not, they can start getting the medication pushed to you so that you're not having to worry about whether or not you're going to miss a dose or not. Also, having one of those bands of the bracelets on your wrist that has the emergency symbols on it, or those are also very helpful, because if you're passed out, the the emergency responder will be able to look at that and go, okay, this is what I can do for this individual. It's very, very important. Otherwise, things could happen that are outside of your control, and you could become more injured than you already were. So just being able to communicate, even if you're unable to communicate through voice or writing, is necessary. Um, Having a local map is excellent. I know a lot of us today rely on our phones, but in a disaster, our phones may not work. And so having a local map to help you navigate will help you beyond reason. Most disasters, the areas that you may walk into or are trying to walk out of will not look the same as they did before. Buildings may be gone, buildings may be destroyed. So if you've been through a disaster, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I pray that you never have to see it. It is devastating. A family photo. That way, if you get separated from your family for whatever reason, you can find them. You can have first responders help you find them. It is absolutely necessary because, if you give a description, you may give the same description as 100 other people. So if they have a photo that they can see, that they can copy, and they can give out to other people, that will help them and help you get reunited with your family. The disaster ready guide that's shown right here. I have access to this guide, and I have the ability to get it in about 16 different languages. If you're interested in one of these guides, please let Tina know, let myself know. We will get you one of these guides. I can get it to you either digitally or in a book format. But they are very, very helpful. They're very, very useful. They have a lot of information, and you'll see the interior of this guide throughout the rest of the slide deck. So one last thing that we want to add is masks. I know we all just came through the pandemic. Some people still want to wear masks. Some people absolutely hate masks. In this case, the mask is for your health and safety, because you don't know what has been kicked up into the air. And you don't know what you might walk through or walk into. So having a mask on will help protect you, especially if you're immunocompromised, from getting more injury or illness than is absolutely necessary in the process of going through the disaster. If you need some N95 masks, please let me know. I can absolutely get those for you as well. Medications. Having about 72 hours worth of medication with you is a good idea. It will generally take first responders 72 hours to get organized and be able to start moving supplies through an area. Medication. If you are on a medication that you need on a regular basis, insulin, asthma medications, anything that you would need, you want to have at least a 72-hour stockpile. Most doctors are willing to give a script for a 72-hour extra amount surplus. Your insurance, if you have an insurance company or your Medicare, Medicaid, they may have a different idea. So please check with your insurance to make sure that you can do this. Otherwise, they may try to make you pay out of pocket for it, and some of those medications can be very, very expensive. Again, with your paperwork, you're going to want to have your doctor's name and phone number, and your pharmacy, because these are all individuals that they can reach out to try to get you the medication. The pharmacy may not still be there, but the doctor should have all of your information and be able to help with either drug names or getting you additional medication as necessary. Identification. If you have a passport, you have uh, a driver's license, just a general identification card. Those will work. A phone, if you have a phone, please take your phone. Charger, keys to your house, your car, please take all of those. Cash. A lot of people have stopped carrying cash. Some because they don't feel comfortable carrying it. Others because it's just more convenient to use your card, or if you're my age, it might be easier just to use your phone. But in a disaster, your phone, Apple Pay is probably not going to work. Cash, absolutely going to be a necessity. Carry small bills, ones, fives, tens, and just make sure that like before, when you had to carry cash everywhere or carry a checkbook, you you know you don't flash it, you don't show it, because people will try to take it from you. Create a contact list. So this page right here is on the interior of that disaster ready guide. Gets a contact list for anybody that you would want contacted in the case of an emergency. So family members, friends, husbands, wives, children, where can they be found if they're not in town? All along this, I guess it would be our right side here. You have out of town contacts. Those contacts are great to have because people that are in town may be dealing with the same disaster that you are, and it'll be difficult for people to be found. I'm the only person in my family that lives in the Bay Area. So I have my brother who lives in South Dakota as part of. So if you have friends, family members that are out of town, please put it in there. Please write them down. If you have contacts that are in the area and can be contacted outside of the disaster area, you're going to want to let them, you're going to want to have multiple people that you can contact. That way they can come pick you up from the emergency shelter if they're able. Be aware of your resources. So Catholic Charities, San Francisco, Marin, San Francisco, San Mateo, we have a lot of resources that we can throw your direction if you need help. 211 is United Way for the Bay Area. There is Thrive Rise, which is a COAD, which is a community organization active during disasters. They will be around. Cal OES, FEMA should be around. There will be a lot of resources, and if it's overwhelming, it is okay to ask for help. My team, I have a team of case managers who would love nothing more than to help you out in the case of a disaster. If you are trying to find a pharmacy that's open to gather medications, this is a great resource, rxopen.com. You can look them up on the internet. Most of the emergency shelters will have some internet that should be up and running. If they are allowing people to use it and you need to find medication, you can absolutely use this as a resource. Be prepared to communicate your needs. So you are your best advocate, always. People won't know what you need until you need them. And people who are in disasters often have a difficult time with communicating what they need because they need everything right now. That is, that's going to be the thing that we need most often is clear communication. Again, let them know about your medical conditions. Let them know about any type of need. Let them know about family members. Let them know about your cats, your dogs. Let them know about everything that you have, and they will try to help you in the best way possible to get you to where you get you to the resources that you need. So make a plan. Um, Obviously, when it comes to disasters, there's no real way to know what's going to happen. If there's an earthquake, if there's a fire, if there's a flood, it's very difficult to know. So have multiple points uh, to go to and have multiple ways to get there. Listen to your local authorities. If they tell you that an area is shut down because it is just too dangerous to go through, do not go through that area. They're professionals. They know what they're talking about. They're not there just trying to stop you from going where you need to go. They're trying to help you get there in the safest way possible. So again, practice evacuation plans, identify a safe place to meet, practice multiple ways to get there, and listen to the local authorities. That is the fastest way to get back to your family. It is the fastest way to stay safe, and that's what we're trying to get. So we're trying to help you get prepared for. So choose a safe meeting space. If you're near your home, obviously within shouting distance, an easy spot to remember, over 50 feet away, is easily accessible. A decent pickup spot. So I don't know if you've seen seen videos of people in the South where they're getting picked up by boat. It wasn't too long ago, 2023, where San Mateo was having the same issue, where people were kayaking in the roads because or in the streets because of excess water. We had all of that flooding that happened. You know, that decent pickup spot might be your roof. If you can get there, get there. But just remember, it needs to be an easy to remember spot to get to, because people panic in these situations, and when a person is panicked, it's very easy for them to forget something that is difficult or intricate to do. Just make it easy. It doesn't need to be something so difficult that it requires several steps within your neighborhood. So if you have the ability to get away from your house, a public park, get to a neighbor's house, um, be specific. That is, you know, with my family, it's very simple. We have some very easy areas to get to that are very, very close. There's a neighborhood park. My wife and kids all know if they can get there, that's where we're going to go. Um, be very specific in how you do these things. Out of the area. So this would require transportation. So if you can drive, great. Just understand that the roads are probably going to be packed. They're going to be difficult to navigate. Um, but if you know where you're going, plan to get there, plan how to get there. If you know the freeways are going to be backed up, if you think that you're not going to be able to use the freeways, what's the lower roads that you can use? If it's too far away or you don't think that you're going to be able to get there, find another spot. If you can get to a local hotel, if you can get to a local church, if you can get to a local hospital, you might be able to find a way to get to where you need to go. And you'll be able to hear a local disaster setup point from Red Cross. You'll be able to find out how to get out of certain areas, what the police are saying, and what the emergency responders are wanting you to do in order to evacuate. And always, if you can see it coming, evacuate ahead of time. It is very, very important that you stay safe. And so all of your belongings, they may have some type of memory attached to them. They may be very important to you, but in the end, you are the most important thing that needs to be saved. So if you can see it coming, if there's a storm, a fire, um, something of that nature, if you can see it coming, get out ahead of time. Don't wait. There's no reason to wait. Um, if if you're worried about people looting, let them have it. Like it is more important that you're safe than trying to maintain your stuff. Um, it's an uncomfortable thought, but it is absolutely one that I have seen people get severely injured or killed by trying to save their belongings, and their family was absolutely devastated over that fact. So, so we talked about having to leave. Now we're going to talk about having to stay. If there's a shelter in place, if the area around you is safe enough for you to stay, and it's more dangerous for you to get out on the roads, we want to talk about building a stay box. And this is a box that is just surplus supplies for 3 days plus. If you can do more, and that would be great. But you want to have a box that you put together and you leave alone. What are we going to put in that box? Water, food, extra food, trash bags. Um, Again, you're going to be putting your some more medication, first aid kits, more hygiene kits, a flashlight, batteries. You're going to want to have some tape and some plastic. This is in case there is some sort of particulate in the air that is dangerous for you to breathe. That way you can tape up your doors and windows and wait it out that way. Um, and again, N95 masks, always important, very, very necessary, especially whenever you have large amounts of particulate in the air. Hand sanitizer, again, staying clean is going to get you a lot farther than if you are, if you can't wash your hands or what have you in clean water. You want to be able to ensure that you're constantly sanitizing and keeping things clean so that you don't, again, ingest something that could harm you. Most hand sanitizers have 70% alcohol. That is absolutely the key factor here. I know during the pandemic, there was a lot of distilleries that were changing from uh, you making liquor to making hand sanitizer. Again, if you have a uh, high alcohol based liquor that you're willing to use, you can also use that. But the key here is 70%. Again, medications, you need at least 72 hours worth of medications because that is the point that most emergency response teams, that's where they say that they will get to us is within 3 days or 72 hours. Again, you can ask your doctor to write a prescription for an extra 1 to 2 weeks of medication. And again, make sure that you speak with your insurance company because they may not cover it. And again, medications are expensive. So I saw in the chat somebody asked about this disaster ready guide. This is it. Again, if you want a hard copy, if you'd like a booklet, let me know. I can get one out to you. If you let Tina know, she can get one out to you through me, and it will have everything in it that's um, in this presentation. So connecting with your neighbors. I know after the pandemic, if you were past 6 feet from me, I probably didn't know you. And that's unfortunate. I have since started to go back out and meet my neighbors and understand who they are and what they might need, and if there's a disaster. Now, I don't go out there and ask them, "Hey, what would you need during a disaster?" I just learn who they are and I find out about them. And just being a general friendly person, most people are willing to give you some information that would allow you to know if they are able to, like, what they would need in a disaster. There's one gentleman in my street. He's an older gentleman, and he is absolutely a great guy. But in a disaster, he and his wife are going to lean heavily on the rest of the neighborhood, and that's fine. Everybody in the neighborhood is okay with that. So we just plan accordingly. So again, reach out, make those introductions, find out who your neighbors are, find out what they need, what they can do. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different background. Everybody has different education and skill set, and that's how we survive. And that's how we've survived for thousands of years. Is grouping together and relying on other people. So don't be afraid to go out there and find people. Don't be afraid to make interactions, and share your contact information with them. It is always important. So another group that you can get in contact with is the community emergency response teams, or CERT. The for San Mateo County, the San Mateo Fire Consolidated Fire Teams, or fire departments, are the ones that run the CERT teams. And these CERT teams are just community members. They're everyday people who have taken classes like this and have decided they want to go above and beyond, and they want to take the next step and not just prepare themselves, but they want to be able to help other people in the middle of a disaster. And so these CERT teams are more likely going to be the first people you see. They're probably going to be wearing a green hard hat with a green reflective vest that says CERT on it, and they're going to be there to help in any way possible. If you communicate to them what you need, it will get communicated up um, to the professional emergency responders, and then up to whoever is uh, developing the supplies and getting them to the people that need them the most. So please, if you're interested in joining a CERT, the phone number and the email that you see on here are the fastest way to get a hold of a CERT, the CERT training teams. And they are more than happy to get you trained and have you help out wherever you can. And they accept everybody from youngest child to the oldest person. Nobody um, is stopped from helping, because again, people have skill sets that are always necessary. If you know how to do paperwork, if you're former medical personnel, if you're uh, if you have a skill set, carpentry, contractor background, military, police, it doesn't matter. A home, like if you prepared a home, you stayed at home the entire time that you've been alive, you still have the ability to cook, clean, help. I mean, my mother was a homemaker the entire time that I was growing up. There wasn't anything she couldn't do. So don't think that because of you have any type of disability, or you don't feel like you have a background, that you're not useful. You absolutely are, and these CERT teams will find a place for you if you so desire to join them. So here is um, my information, my phone number. I'll leave it up on the screen. I saw a couple of questions come through the chat. Um, what is in the disaster book? Um, and we absolutely can go back and look at the backpack list. The book it has everything that I just gave in this presentation. So if we go back to the go bag, there's actually several slides that have the go bag list in it. So we have medications. Oh, let me go back even further. I'm sorry. So we have documents. Those are all your important documents. I'm sorry. Apparently, it just closed my screen, my window out for you. I can give Tina the presentation. We can go back through it again, because my computer is acting very strange right now. Again, we're talking about documents. We're talking about
Yeah, John.
Or
So
talk.
it'll be great if you can share the presentation. I can forward that on.
Yeah, here we go.
Yep.
Vital documents. Clothing and toiletries. Medications. Local map, family photo, disaster ready guide, and a mask. And any type of light food or water that you would want to put in there as well is always a good idea. So if you have protein bars, water bottles, things of that nature, those are always great to have. 72 hours of medication, absolutely. What about so person who is bedridden? Um, the stay box would be the most necessary thing for them. So if we go back to the stay box, um, set of slides talking about um, water, food, trash bags, medications, um, first aid, things of that nature. If they are bedridden, if they cannot move, it is absolutely necessary that um, when the first responders show up, you let them know, hey, there's an individual here. They're unable to move. Uh, and that they will make determinations on how best to move them. But staying in place if at all possible. And again, like I said, if you can see the disaster coming, make those preparations ahead of time. Get them out of there before the heavy rains or the fire or what have you come through. And again, if there's any other questions, please let me know. My This is my phone number and this is my email. Feel free to email me, and I will try to get you an answer as quickly as possible. And if there's a resource that I have that I can use or I can give to you, I will absolutely do it. Again, the weather radios, I do have some of those. I do have some first aid kits that are available. I have some fire extinguishers and fire blankets that I can also hand out if with the cold coming up and fire being a hazard that is um, present throughout the winter. Um, but if there's not any other questions, Tina.
Thank you so much, John. This is so helpful. I appreciate it. You may have saved many lives.
Well, I hope so. I hope people can. I hope I didn't go too fast. And again, I am more than open for any questions. So feel free.
Great. And people, if whatever you learn, I always believe in just spreading it. Tell your neighbors about it.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Take care.